Okay, I just wanted to show you how to enable that REspondus lockdown browser thing. I just picked an old course here. Hopefully there's some quizzes in that I can work this with. One thing you need to do right off the bat is make sure you have lockdown browser on your menu here. So if it's not there, you got to go to settings and then over to navigation. I'm already on navigation and find lockdown. Oh, there it is right there. So let's enable this feature. So that puts it up in my list in here. I don't see it there yet, so I probably have to go down and hit save. Okay, I've got lockdown browser. Life is good. So now let's go to a quiz. And so here's a quiz, and say this quiz I want to administer with the lockdown browser. So I click on it. And then this is a quiz that's already been, this course is an old one. But I want to go to edit here. So I've got the quiz already created. Go to edit. And then down here, there's a button you got to click on that says require the REspondus lockdown browser. Now that's a different browser than they have on their system. So if they haven't done lockdown browser, pardon me, they probably have with Simon, but or maybe in other courses. But if they haven't, that's something that they'll want to download and install before the exam day. So download and you might want to create a practice quiz. Just have like 2 questions or something, and make it require the REspondus lockdown browser, and just have them practice that and make sure that they're good with it. They're probably okay. They might have seen it in other courses. Anyway, you got to click on that guy. And it says required to click, yeah, whatever. Okay, let's hit save there. Okay, so now this quiz will require the lockdown browser to take. But now that's not the only thing you have to do. It's sort of funny that you think require lockdown browser, done, perfect. Another thing you have to do is come over here to lockdown browser. And then in here, settings updated. Somewhere in here, I think you have to enable. I think at this point, when you click on it, it says, are you sure you want to enable this lockdown browser thing? And you have to say yes. I've done it before in another course, so it's not, I don't think it's asking me that question there. Anyway, I think that this chapter 2 quiz is the one that I required the lockdown browser for. And so that's why it says required here. But I also want them to be videotaped. So while they're taking the exam, just so they're not having 3 or 4 people helping them, just to keep people honest. So right now it says not required. So I need to go into the settings here. It's a little funny, the menu thing, but anyway, you click on this thing and then you say settings. So in here, you want to have REspondus Monitor do the automatic proctoring. So I'm going to click on that. REspondus Monitor, yeah, whatever. Continue, perfect. Okay, so that REspondus monitoring, so down here, it asks you what stuff you want to ask them when you start up. You can put additional instructions in there if you want. You don't have to. Guidelines and tips, maybe not a bad thing there. You can require them to show a student photo ID. You probably know all of your students' faces already, so you may not need that. But with mine, they're online. I see them online, but I like having that. And their ID, and then an environment check where the students are required to pick up their camera or their laptop and just sort of scan their desk and scan the room just to make sure there's no cheats in there. So once that's done, a couple other things. I always click on this advanced setting just to see if I need anything there. This says allow this to be delivered in a proctored lab. We're not having that. They're doing it at home, so don't worry about that. Another application, no, I don't need that. Up here under advanced settings, this one. So there's advanced settings under proctoring and also for lockdown browser. So you click on this guy, and then a lot of people just use iPads or Chromebooks to write these exams. And if you don't go to and fix this here, they won't be able to do it. So allow students to take this with an iPad. I say yes. Or a Chromebook, I allow them to do that too. If you want them to have a calculator, you can do that and pick a scientific one if you want. And I think those are all the settings I do. So save and close. Okay, now I'm ready to go with the lockdown browser. I'm not sure what's not showing me my stuff there again. Anyways, now the quiz should be ready to go. Let me click on this again to see what's going on. Oh, there it is. So now lockdown browser is required, so they have to download that and install it on the system that they're going to use to take the test. And the REspondus monitor is going to be doing the proctoring for them. Yeah, so when you go back to quizzes, yeah, now it has changed the name, so it's Chapter 2 quiz, and now it says it requires REspondus lockdown browser and a webcam. So this is just in quizzes. I don't know how you have your course set up, but that's in the quizzes. So to get to that assessment, they'd have to click on quizzes to get it. Or if you go to modules, you can add that. So if I wanted to add that thing, it's a quiz, and it's a Chapter 2 quiz, the one that requires REspondus. I click that add item, and there it is. Make sure that it's published so that they can see it. Anyway, and I think that you're ready to go. Make sure that you go in there and under edit, make sure that the time is right for everybody. So this is when the last time they can submit it, and then here's where they can start what time, what date and what time you want them to start, and what time they have until they're done. I don't know if you've done this before, and I saw that you were allowing students to have different times when they could do this. So you could say, well, it's due on Tuesday at whatever time you want. And you can say, I'm going to open it up on this Friday at whatever time. And then this time here, this date, I think has to be the same as this one. So I just usually copy and paste that into there. So you can do that. You can also, and that's for everybody, if somebody wants to write it at a different time, you can always click add there and put their information for that particular student. Okay, what was the other thing I was going to do here? Oh, I have, here it says allow multiple attempts. I want them just to do it once. But here I put a time limit on them. So when they have a time limit, say it's 120 minutes, that's how much time they have to write the exam. Let me save this. Unlock date cannot be after lock date. What?
Oh, that's nice. Dad took me out on the hills today.
Oh, they have the different years there. That's the problem. Let me just throw this in and see if that fixes it. Yeah, whatever. So you put your own dates. The other thing that you want to do is, I think it's under moderate this quiz. So when you go to moderate, it shows you everybody that is taking the test. And so if you want somebody to have like an accessibility, student with accessibility privileges or accommodations, you can come in here and click on the arrow or the pencil beside them and tell them that you can get extra time. So you can give them an extra 60 minutes. So you have the original 120 plus you can give them another 60. Okay, I think that's all that I sort of have for the REspondus lockdown browser. If that helps, cool. If you need more help, just give me a holler.